It seems like each year there's this discourse about were ghost stories a thing during Christmas? Were they a thing during American Christmas? So I thought I'd do a deep dive into the archives. A Christmas Carol was one of Dickens' most famous works, and ghosts were familiar to him as a Christmas theme. He continued reciting A Christmas Carol even into the last months of his life in 1870. That year, a column reads, "The annual crop of Christmas ghost stories in England this winter has produced 2 or 3 good ones." They're super familiar with this. The only one weird thing is that Sydney, Ohio is seeing this in February, because that's how long it takes for a Christmas ghost story to cross the Atlantic. In 1879, Ithaca, New York's newspaper publishes Christmas Ghosts, a story for children. One of the ghosts is covered in school supplies and multiplication tables. Okay, I think I understand this one, because at the end, the ghost comes with all these hateful words and fights and mean misdeeds, and Lily's afraid they're going to fill up her stocking and Santa Claus won't be able to put in anything more. This is definitely a moral story. I get it. 5 years later, we have this Ballad of Christmas Ghosts, and it says, "What Christmas ghost can make us chill, but also the ghosts we all can raise at will?" What's happening with these ghosts? Around the 1880s, we get a fun one where Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Coming, etc. And then says, oh, the one that troubles the lover the most is the awful ghost of the future Christmas present. In 1891, there's a whole book of Christmas ghost stories. I'll put a link in the description in case you're trying to bring back this tradition somehow. The next year, I could not believe this story. Someone says, oh yeah, someone came around at Christmas and said he must have a ghost for his Christmas party. Immediately understanding the premise, he asks a few questions about the costume, and then shows up in a production of a really first-class ghost. Our writer then falls asleep in a chair, where he scares the housekeeper the next morning. Just the next year, in Canada, these Christmas ghost stories, it says blood-curdling yarn about grisly skeleton hands, grinning skulls with eyeballs of fire. What on earth, you guys? It's Christmas! And this story also ends with somebody dressing up as a ghost, covering his face with phosphorus. People are also still loving this poem about the ghost we can all raise at will. These guys really need Halloween to be invented fast. Christmas Day in 1894, Baltimore paper has a huge story about a haunted house. By 1908, people with old houses, especially in Washington, D.C., are having Christmas parties, Christmas ghost hunts. They say it's a trend that's been imported from England. Christmas ghosts might be on the way out. A fiction review says, Dickens' Christmas ghosts are unique. Of all the silent shapes that are summoned from the upper and nether worlds, his alone have become acclimated. We're recognizing a staying power to A Christmas Carol, but also maybe rejecting the scary ghosts. Another 15 years later, A Christmas Ghost story appears in the newspaper, but they prepare the reader a little bit by reintroducing Charles Dickens in A Christmas Carol. In 1929, a writer calls it a still older legend that the 12 Days of Christmas roused ghosts and witches. But not too long ago, a rich American store magnate had asked for an old English mansion that still had its Yuletide ghosts. There is a house party where people gather for a ghostly encounter, but they say it's been 50 years since people have actually seen the ghost. By 1960, the tradition is truly dead in America. This article goes out in multiple newspapers talking about ghosts roaming Britain's old castles. Did you know British people do this during Christmas time? You guys were just doing this. Ask your grandma. And 1963, it gets preserved in this Christmas song for all time, saying there'll be scary ghost stories, tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. Not that long ago. But it is interesting that it was old when it went into the song.